On fourth down on is Dustin Colquitt to kick this away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, to us about stretching the field, wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front air raid, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. When we look at this unit like we are now, Greg Olsen has become such a reliable target in this league.
Loves to be considered the #1 option in the passing game in the offense he plays, and he lives up to it. Knows the defense is set for him, knows how to beat them.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
2nd and 11. They'll set up a screen for Breida. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first. So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. On 1st and 10 is Connor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there. 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Complete to Jones. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. Ready for the 2nd quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. They are, however, facing a 4th down situation. Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. It's taken to the 26.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
That hurts. If it was running into the kicker, wouldn't be a first down. Roughing, it is a first.
And just think about the differences between the two. Running into the kicker almost feels inadvertent, just a small tap, so to speak. But when you rough him, usually bodies are hitting the ground and flying all different places. And the difference is 5 yards or 15. And in this case, that's a big play.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. On 2nd down, a run with Breida. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. Now 3rd down is looming. A pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there. Now back to throw. The open man is Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 12 yards to pick up there. Good for a Raven first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And this one complete to Smith. 27 yards there, a first down. I love that play because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Second and 1. Looking sideline, incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use. That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
The kick by Tavecchio is good. And we have action on the scoreboard just before halftime. It's 3-0. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first points, a field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Khalil Mack. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
52.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. A nice little screen. They get 6 on first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
2nd and 4. Check down to Breida. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. He'll drop to throw. Jones has it. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll look to throw here. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He's got the first down inside the 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Matt Breida, as the first half is winding down, as the Ravens push further out in front. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Johnson. And an alley to run. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. And it's the Bengals who are out in front as those two head towards the break. Garrett Grayson throwing the football well. He has 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head over to MetLife Stadium to check in on the Jets. And they've got the lead over the visiting L.A. Rams as that one's gone to halftime. Ezekiel Elliott, a touchdown run in that first half. Finally, let's get down to Miami to see what's going on with the Dolphins. In that game, all tied with the visiting Patriots. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Goss.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Shaq Thompson on the tackle that time. 2nd and 5 now. Foles. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. This offense up on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Defense is making enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll try and throw for it here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Here's 2nd and 8. That'll be complete to Breida. Not able to get a single yard there, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll set up a throw. He'll dump this down to Matt Breida. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it is going to be 15 yards.
From the gun, a give to counter. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum. A play fake. Now McNabb. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Greg Olsen with touchdown number 12 on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. A nice throw there by the 2nd-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Fielded about a yard deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On the ground. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. Complete. Smith has it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And that's caught by Smith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 63 yards receiving for him now, and that last catch good enough for a 1st down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. The Ravens get a new set of downs, give them 17 on that pickup.
All right, I don't want to get too poetic here where they talk about, the eyes being the windows of the soul. You know what else the eyes do? They see the open spaces on a field, and those eyes carry your legs to those spots. And that's what happened on that play. He saw an opening and went and got it.
Well, he really hasn't ran the ball all game. 4th quarter here, need a big play, able to pick it up. So whatever the eyes saw and created, it worked. Out of the shotgun, Breida. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. They'll try and run for him with Connor. Oh, no, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Well, that takeaway, partner, right there, that's a combination of coaching, execution, and absolute belief.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Tavecchio puts this one through. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
So now the Eagles down by 10, and time a huge factor. Their 5-game winning streak hanging in the balance here.
58 to Mike, 58. Tackles. Check 31.
On 1st and 10, McNabb. Wide open receiver complete. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. On 1st down, it's McNabb. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Eagles will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the 1st down. This quarterback now 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only one timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 2nd down.
Ready? 70, Indy. Use the mic. Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go. Now.
Again, it's counter. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah.
Call it no gain there, and it brings forth a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got Smith here. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll run for it with counter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And despite the cold, despite the snow, this one was fun to watch, and I want to thank you for bringing 2 things: the space heater